It can only be attributable to human error.
You're entering paranormal.
He meddled in things that you
Where will we go next? This phantom from another time.
No one but tomorrow.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
That is one big pile of shit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to
Cryptid Campfire. Eli missed the cue yet again.
No, I caught it on Campfire again.
You gotta say the cryptid part.
That's gonna be that. No, I have my other podcast about Campfire.
You don't. That's a lie.
You rate Campfire.
For a second, I was like, "Are you cheating on us?"
Yeah, it's called. I forgot what I called it.
Campfire.
Campfire Cryptid.
Campfire Cryptids. That's right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cryptid Campfire. My name is Alex Daikaiju. To my left,
Jasmine May with.
and across from us,
Eli Watson.
yeah, and we want to welcome you to Cryptid Campfire for I think the third time in this
I know.
sentence. It's just a good go-to. Today, last week I think we talked about flying rods, skyfish.
I love it because, it's a good go-to. You're talking, you don't know what to say. Welcome to Cryptid Campfire.
Welcome to Cryptid Campfire. I think I've said that like 5 times in a sentence one time.
It's like when you go to a restaurant and they come to refill your water and they're like, "Do you want a water refill?" And you're like, "Yes, thank you." And then they pick up your cup and you're like, "Thank you." And then they fill it and they're like, "Thank you." And then they set the cup down and you're like, "Thank you," one more time.
And then they say, "Enjoy," and you say, "You
Thank
too."
you. But yes, welcome to Cryptid Campfire. Today we're talking about puppies! Kind of.
Evil ghost puppies.
From the underworld.
Talking about Black Shuck or
Whoa.
Old Shuck or Old Shock.
Old Shock. Or, if I may make the most obscure reference I think that will be ever made on this podcast, Songs About Shucking by Big Black.
What?
I got Black Shuck by some band. They made
Yeah, that's a
Darkness.
real
yeah,
song.
The Darkness.
Yeah, I listened to that
pretty
song.
rad.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty rad.
Dude, 2003 was a poppin'.
So for this cryptid / mythical creature, we are traveling the world. We are going to East Anglia in eastern England in the 16th century. Did I say that wrong?
No, he was like this.
I was like,
Is that not what you
no,
got?
it is. It was just because you. What'd you say?
East Anglia?
Yeah, East Anglia. I was like, wait.
Anglia?
Then you said in
Anglia?
England. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, in England.
That's right.
There's a lot. I will say there is a lot of names and weird places. Cause again,
I'm gonna call it Old Shock the whole time.
a lot of poppycock.
I'm bad with geography, as we all know, but I had to you know how in the U.S. we have towns and we have counties and we have cities and we have states and we have countries and that's how it progresses.
It's not that way in other countries.
It is not that way in other
It's complete
countries.
insanity.
There is lots of names and lots of
And
things
they call us
happening.
uncivilized.
Yeah, like Leaston Abbey is in Bungay, which is in Suffolk, which is in East Anglia, which is in Eastern. There's a lot going on,
Yeah.
but
And that's why we threw the T in the in the
Yeah, I
water.
was gonna say
to keep it general, we're in England, everybody.
we're across the pond.
Yeah. But what does shuck mean?
So it's derived from the Old English word
Skuka.
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 Skuka, however you want to pronounce it. It means demon.
I got devil fiend.
I got demon. But
What did you get?
I got devil/fiend.
Oh.
But demon's a good one too.
Or the name also could possibly come from the word shucky, which apparently means shaggy or hairy.
Oh,
I got.
did you get
yeah.
ska?
I did get ska to terrify.
Yeah, the root word of skuka is shge, which is to terrify.
Yeah.
And yeah, who wants
I
to?
guess basically nobody really knows where it came
Yeah,
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean the first printed mention of Black Shuck was by Reverend E.S. Taylor in 1850 in a journal called Notes and Queries.
18. Are you sure about that date?
1850?
I got some 12th century.
I got 1127.
Well,
Well,
11th
for the
century.
name Black Shuck.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha,
that's
gotcha,
true
gotcha,
because
gotcha.
the Black Shuck is only one of the names that's associated with this creature. Because he's a hellhound.
Mm-hmm.
And there's multiple stories of lots of different hellhounds.
Apparently, England is overrun with ghost dogs.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah. So, essentially, Black Shuck is a 7-foot tall, shaggy black dog
Mhm.
that has flaming red eyes and likes to bust into churches and murder people.
Or, some stories say he's a cyclops.
That is true. Yes, there are some stories that claims he only has one eye.
Yeah.
And there's also, I know we're like hitting all the bullet points right now, but we'll get deeper into them.
Mhm.
Okay.
But there's also theories that he's not evil at all and that he's actually a protector.
Mhm.
I got that one.
So
Like the one in West Virginia.
Born and raised.
West Virginia.
Mountain Mama.
Anyway,
My mind is being blown.
so these creatures are said to be anything from the ghosts of dead travelers to the spirits of dead dogs awaiting the return of their masters to guardians of forbidden knowledge and also the devil himself, which I think is where we will start.
Yeah.
Yo, give me some of that forbidden knowledge, dude. What
I
is
have
it?
none of it. You
The
have to
forbidden,
contact
the
them.
forbidden knowledge
It's
is
forbidden.
that when done right, pineapple does belong on a pizza.
Yes, preach it.
What is wrong with you guys?
I said when done right.
I guess we're gonna have to end the podcast right
well,
here.
Thank you for everyone for listening. It's been a good run. We'll see you next week on Campfire Cryptid. That'll be the new main show.
So throw some cryptids on the
We're
campfire.
talking about how well pine wood burns, but not old oak. To get a good roaring fire, I'll tell you what.
So 16th century. 16th century is the most circulated story of what happened with the Black Shuck. Now, I will say, when I was doing the research, it's located in multiple sources, but the sources sometimes switch which church attack happened first, because it's this one day, August 4th, 1577. I'm 90% sure that the first church to be attacked was Holy Trinity Church in Blithburg. Is that what you guys got?
I
Or
got-
did you get the other one first?
I got the Trinity one.
Okay.
I got two at
Yes,
the same
there's-
time.
At the same time, or like
Was it 12
one
miles
after
apart?
the other?
Bungay and Blithburg.
Bungie, yeah. Okay.
Bungie.
So
Banzai!
on August 4th, there was a bad thunderstorm, basically. And at this church, Holy Trinity Church, the doors burst open, and a hairy black devil dog came running in.
He came running into the clap of thunder,
Yeah, caused a ruckus,
ran up the nave.
Came
killed a
running.
man and
And
a
a boy.
boy.
Oh, there, yeah.
Killed a man and a boy. And
He-
somehow caused the church steeple to fall through the roof. I don't know how
Yeah,
that does
dude.
anything,
I'm
but
assuming he kicked it.
I don't know.
I mean, it's because the size changes for Black Shuck.
Oh yeah.
Some people
Okay.
say it's like, oh, he's a big dog, and some people say he's the size of a horse.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm assuming if it's a horse-sized dog running and a growling and a running and a screaming,
Mm-hmm.
He can kick the steeple off of a church.
yeah, he peed on it. He aimed really well.
So basically, the dog comes through, kills these two people, leaves scorch marks that are still visible to this day on the church doors.
on the north door,
Oh.
Okay.
which are
Is that
referred
relevant?
to as the devil's fingerprints.
Yes.
I just want to
Ooh.
make sure people know where to look up. Just so I'm looking out for the audience here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Because everyone's gonna go to Blithburg and make sure they look at the right door.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
oh, I'm
Very
here to
cool.
see that
Every
dog,
single-
governor.
So I'm just kind of running through this, and then we
Mm.
can get into more like details.
Is that the first sighting you got?
That's not the first sighting. This is just the most like when you look
Like,
up Black
well-known.
Shuck. This is the first story you're gonna see.
Okay.
And then
well,
go
okay,
ahead.
did you get the one from 1127 in Peterborough? And this
Yeah.
is the first Black
yes,
Shuck
uh-huh.
report.
Yeah,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
kind of go with it.
Okay,
Can
go
I,
ahead.
Can I?
Sure,
Oh yeah.
put a pause on the 16th century one.
Sorry. So we have the arrival in Peterborough.
Oh, real
11.
quick. Did you mean to do a pun?
No.
Or put a pause
Oh
on
no,
this topic?
I didn't mean to.
Oh, I was
job.
like, I can't let that one go.
But thank you for catching it.
That was really good. Continue, Eli.
1127 Peterborough.
Okay.
In England somewhere.
I can see the credits now. 11:27, England. Somewhere.
We have the arrival of a certain Abbot Henry of Poitou.
Mm-hmm.
I looked that up because it's actually French, not English.
Oh, Frenchie, eh?
And I have no idea what his arrival has to do with anything. But on a Sunday, after this guy arrived, many huntsmen were hunting, supposedly. And they were huge and hideous, and they rode on black horses and black he-goats.
Mm-hmm.
And the hounds that they had, like their hunting hounds, were jet black with eyes like saucers. And at night, monks heard them sounding and winding their horns. And there was roughly 20 to 30 of these huntsmen, and they stayed in the area for about 50 days.
Yeah.
And this time period was known as the Wild Hunt.
They stayed from Lent to like Easter.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense, the story.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to delve into it a little bit more, because it's pretty scary.
I mean, I just have like the brief synopsis of what you said. If you could probably fill in more detail, but just imagine like some French guy shows up. He's just like, oui, oui, poo, poo. You're like, oh, what the hell, governor? What's all this? And you're hanging out on a Sunday, and then just 20 to 30 giant like huntsmen on like black horses and goats and dogs just show up and just start hanging out in the forest for like 50 days, hooping and a hollering and a hunting.
Yeah, I can't help but think
wild.
of like the Black Riders from Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is partly inspiration for that.
Especially because I think it's called the Great Hunt, right?
The Wild Hunt.
The Wild Hunt, that's
Yeah.
what it's referred to, and that's
Yeah.
like, if I remember correctly, I don't know if you know more about the Wild Hunt, but it's like a Norse mythology kind of event to where it's just it's like the doorways between the worlds kind of open.
I have no idea what any of this is.
Yeah, so the Wild Hunt is basically like the gods and spirits start going through the skies hunting,
Whoa.
and like the dead come back with them. And and if they go over your house while you're sleeping, they could steal your soul, and you just get stuck with this traveling parade of monsters that are just like hunting.
That's scary.
Dude, isn't that wild?
While I'm sleeping, dog.
Yeah. So that's what they're saying. This could be this could be like an actual wild hunt happening in 1127, and that these were like spirits and gods
Interesting.
that like hung around for 50 days.
And
That's
then
really cool.
Black Shuck just never left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like he got left behind.
Oh man, it sucks.
Poor puppy.
Yeah, he's just looking for a new master.
Tell him sad.
We should remake the Beethoven movies, but with Black Shuck, where they adopt him.
He bites a kid's arm off. Oh, Black Shuck.
He eats the entire dinner table.
The actual table.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the, I guess the first real appearance of black hounds that are paroling around old England.
Yeah.
It's not very jolly at all.
No. Nay.
I don't believe it.
But I don't know if Jasmine wants to get into the 16th century.
Well, so Holy Trinity Church got attacked.
Mhm.
you
Right
know,
after, yeah.
after this thunderstorm and whatever. But after that, the dog, like, traveled, I think, was it 12 miles, you said,
12
Alex?
miles away.
12 miles away down to another church, called St. Mary's. Now for this one, there's no official record of injuries, but the church warden's account book mentions that 2 men were also killed there. I don't have any quote or text from that book.
There's not as much detail on the second attack.
No, there's not. But the first one, if we go back to that, there is writing of it because the clergyman, Reverend Abraham Fleming, is believed to have described the appearance of the legendary hellhound in a pamphlet that he wrote in 1577. It's called A Strange and Terrible Wonder. And things are spelled weird because England.
The oldie times.
Yeah, but he wrote, "This black dog or the devil in such a," I think
it's
supposed to say-
likeness,
likeness,
But it's lininess or whatever.
lininess. God he knoweth all who worketh all, running all along down the body of the church with great swiftness and incredible haste, among the people in a visible form and shape, passed between two persons as they were kneeling upon their knees and occupied in prayer, as it seemed, wrung the necks of them both at one instant clean backward, insomuch that even at a moment where they kneeled, they strangely died. So we do have that. And that's 1577, everybody.
Yeah.
That's Black Shuck terrorizes East Anglia in the 16th
Wow.
century.
1577? You know what happened 400 years later?
Tell us.
Star Wars came out.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Connection. I mean, Star Wars was filmed in jolly old England. Could there be a connection?
Could there be a connection?
Could there be a Black Shuck in Star Wars?
I think there is.
Yeah?
Did they edit him out of the special editions, though?
Probably.
Because the wolf guy.
Oh!
In the cantina.
Marv Wolfman.
Is that his name?
I just know there's a guy who writes comic books called Marv Wolfman.
Wolf guy.
Wolf guy. While we do a Star Wars Wikipedia check.
Sorry, continue.
I was just gonna say,
There is.
There he is. Black Shuck in Star Wars.
I have information on this creature. I'm not really sure where it comes from. If it comes from the church attacks or if it comes from other sightings, but apparently, like, even though the Black Shuck has, like, a howling that's really ominous and it makes the hearer's blood run cold, apparently it makes no sound when it walks or runs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't hear its feet
I
hit
got
the
that, yeah.
ground. But where does that information come from? Do we know?
Probably people who saw Black Shuck and couldn't hear its footsteps.
It was
Very specific. Thank you for that information.
it was the monastery that was all deaf monks.
Oh my goodness.
I say there is a ye old Black Shuck over there, and he does not make a sound as he kills those children.
Yeah.
Apparently, too, if you
If you see one?
you die at the end of the year.
Yeah, it's like an omen for death.
Yeah.
They can foresee death, misfortune, disaster, or even cause those things.
But what happens if you tame a Black Shuck?
Then you have a friend for life.
You gotta...
Until the end of the year?
Well, it'll be the best end of your year.
So yeah. Basically, the Black Shuck is a bad omen and harbinger of doom.
Mm-hmm.
However, sometimes he's man's best friend, or woman's best friend, I should say. There are stories of, well, there's one story that I read of, like, basically a little girl was being attacked by somebody, and Black Shuck appeared and saved her. I don't know. It's
dang.
It's kind of simple in, like, terms of what actually happened. Basically, the Black Shuck just shows up whenever a woman is in danger and, like, attacks the attacker.
Oh, that's nice, though.
It's like, that'd be a cool reboot of Clifford. Big red dog. So he's the big black dog, and he just saves women who are being attacked.
Yeah, I read an old story, like a legend of this happening, like this little girl who was being abused at the church. Surprise, surprise. And
Why is that a surprise?
I don't want to get
didn't
into
know.
it.
Next week on Cryptid Campfire takes systematic abuse in the church system.
But this story,
God.
this story claims that the Black Shuck was an actual dog that this family adopted in order to protect their younger daughter because she didn't have any older siblings. Like, there was nobody to protect her family-wise.
Do you have a year or time period
let me
for
check
this
my
story?
notes real quick. I don't know.
So somebody did tame a Black Shuck, and they had
Well-
it as a pet.
Whoa, Black Shuck.
Not
Whoa,
necessary.
Not necessary?
Not necessarily.
Not necessary.
I actually don't think I wrote it down.
Mm-hmm. What did it seem like?
It was definitely ye olden times, but basically the dog busts into the church and catches the bad guy red-handed and, like, attacks him and everything. But at the same time, basically the dude and the dog die at the same time. It's one of those things.
Oh, no.
And so it's believed that the spirit of this dog is what saves women when they're under attack.
That's like Old Yeller.
Yeah.
Old Chucky.
It's not like Old Yeller at all, but...
What the heck?
I think I just
read the
I
clip
probably
notes.
just said yeah because I wanted to agree with you.
Yeah.
Don't have actually any frame of reference for that because I haven't watched that or read that or whatever it is. I've heard of it.
Anything else? Oh, there's that Guardian black shuck supposedly in the States. I said West Virginia earlier, but it might be Philadelphia. One of them East Coast states.
One of them weirdo states.
Where it supposedly is it protects people.
Oh, okay.
It's a guardian. It's a good thing if you see it. I also read that there's one that there's an Irish one that's supposed to be green. And that's supposed to, I forget.
It's supposed to be chilling.
I can't find it in my notes for some reason. It's supposed to be a good thing.
Did you guys get where the possible inspiration for the black shuck came from?
No.
Oh,
Or maybe. I don't know. What are you referencing?
Vikings.
No.
Whoa.
Because,
Whoa. All right.
like, especially with the whole, the riders with the black dogs that showed up in 1127. So East Anglia, in England, what's it called?
I
say Anglia.
See,
Anglia? What did I
You're
say?
like
you
Anglo-Saxon.
said Anglia.
Anglia.
I actually have started Googling how to pronounce things,
Same.
but this one I did not Google.
Yeah.
I was pretty confident that it was Anglia.
We'll
but
call it
who really knows?
West Angie.
Angie.
West Angie in the old England was apparently it's called that because of the Anglo-Saxons. The Vikings showed up and kind of I don't know, what do you call it? Made it a town?
Okay.
Cultivated it or whatever. But there's the most famous big black dog in Norse mythology is Fenrir, from Thor Ragnarok. Fenrir.
Oh, Hela's dog?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tight.
And so there's the theory that like the Vikings brought that story with them. And who knows, maybe it's like a real spirit because England's got I guess a bunch of black dogs running around. So maybe there's some truth to like black dogs that are like spirits from Norse mythology that came with the Vikings when they came to England, and they've been running wild ever since.
Oh.
Who let these dogs out?
Whoa.
Who?
Going back to the Irish green one,
Mhm.
it's supposed to be associated with, it's like a fairy dog.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was kind of tight.
Yeah.
We've been talking about fairies a lot recently,
Mhm.
and so just fairy dog.
Yeah,
That's
I
green.
mean, that's pretty dope. Yeah, green dog, shamrock shake dog.
Shamrock shake.
Shamrock shake.
I'm gonna have to stop and get one.
Yeah?
Hey man, go through McDonald's when you drop me back off at my apartment. I'll get something too.
Oh,
Yeah, you know
no,
what?
she revealed the location of her house. She lives next to McDonald's.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I hope I
Just
don't
down
get
the
any
street
stalkers.
just down the street from a Starbucks too.
The 7-Eleven?
So right there. We practically just drew a map.
I feel like I have so much information about this topic
Mhm.
that like I feel like I'm just throwing random stuff out there and I'm like, yeah, I want to say this. Yeah, I want to say
We'll
that.
keep doing it.
Yeah.
But
Well-
let me throw something.
Yeah,
out there.
go.
Let me throw something out here.
All right, what you got?
Okay. Possible finding of the black shuck.
Oh. I know where you're going with this and I'm ready to tear it down.
Uh-oh.
What?
Go ahead.
I'm scared.
Go ahead.
Leiston Abbey in
Mhm.
Suffolk.
Mhm.
They found the remains of a giant dog, supposedly in May 2014.
Mhm.
It's supposedly 7 feet long, or 7 feet tall if it stood on its hind legs. Approximately, it would have weighed like 196 pounds or 14 stone. How to Google that ratio?
Yeah.
But carbon dating of the bones link it to, get ready for the super specific dating,
Mhm.
1650 to 1690, or 1730 to 1810, or post 1920.
Yeah.
So we don't really know where it's
Oh
from.
my goodness, it's almost like carbon dating is all over the place.
Right?
Oh
All right.
my god.
So you said that was in 2014. I haven't really found any more recent results for that, and you say you're ready to tear it down. So.
Well, I thought you were gonna give it a little more information about it.
Well,
I'm just curious about what your source was for this information.
Oh.
Which article did you read?
I think it was like Daily Mail. Or
Okay.
Yeah,
something
Daily
like
Mail.
Ha ha ha. Well, I read a source
that. Uh-oh.
calling out the Daily Mail because I
Uh-oh.
did read the Daily Mail article first too, and I was like, whoa, they found like this is crazy, like giant dog, whatever. And this led me on quite an interesting tangent, which I found very fun,
Okay.
a little bit sad.
Uh-oh.
But basically, just to start off with that
Uh-oh.
article, they really did find bones this big belonging to a dog. However, the claims that it's the black shuck was widely
Why?
emphasized because the initial article that was written for this find was a local newspaper,
Okay.
and the focus of the article was the archaeological dig.
Okay.
It wasn't about mythology, it wasn't about legends, it wasn't about anything like that. It was basically just used in the title. So the story was of interest to the Daily Mail because of the title that they used basically. And it wasn't just the Daily Mail that took this story. It was multiple internet sources and multiple tabloids. And every time the story got retold, it became more embellished and more riddled with factual and folkloric inaccuracies. So the local Leaston newspaper, they had just written a fairly short piece that was expanded and illustrated with graphic representations by the Daily Mail. So here's a little more facts. In the grave that the bones were found, it was by a team called Dig Ventures, and the grave was approximately 20 inches deep, and it didn't have any obvious markings attached to it. Like, it was an unmarked grave. Also found in the grave were pottery fragments that were dated to the 16th century, so it was decided and made the connection that this was the, quote, height of the Shuck's alleged reign, unquote. So this kind of linked the two together. Obviously, the skeleton belonged to a large dog. They suggest possibly a Newfoundland? I don't know.
Newfoundland, them
Yeah.
big dogs.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Which would have been kept at the Abbey at the time. They quoted from an interview with the managing director of the group, who highlighted that the remains were found close to where the Abbey kitchen would have been, and pointed out that even in these medieval times, pets were held in high regard. And the only reference to the black shuck at all in this original article was the headline, which asked, "Are these the bones of devil dog black shuck?" The rest of the piece just concentrates on the archaeological dig because it was an unusual example of a project which had been crowdfunded.
I don't know. Looks like it could be Black Shuck to me.
OMG. The face of evil.
So, while it is very interesting and very great that these remains were found, that's such a cute dog.
I'm here to take your soul, man.
Eli pulled up pictures of this dog.
Pictures of these paupers.
But the original article that was written stated, "Of course, the giant carcass is more likely what remains of someone's beloved canine companion." So I read this really... all of these notes that I got came from a writer who basically followed the rabbit trail from the original article to all of these tabloid articles, because you don't get the full story, basically. It's definitely interesting.
It's interesting. Yeah, it sounds like a archaeological dig, crowdsourced. Hey, black shuck, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We found a big old dog, and then just everyone started attaching clickbait to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But reading this article made me wonder, what is the biggest dog in the world? So I Googled it, and I read about Giant George, who was a Great Dane that was 43 inches at the shoulder, 7'3" from nose to tail, weighing 245 pounds. This is a real dog, okay? There's nothing abnormal about him except his size. He was healthy. He was a normal dog in all ways except his size. He held the Guinness World Record for tallest dog from 2010 to 2012. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2013.
Wow. R.I.P.
But
What was his name?
Giant George.
Giant George, this one goes out to you.
But that's just crazy to me because I love dogs, and reading about the black shuck, it's fun. I mean, yes, it's supposed to be a demon dog, but I love puppies. Like I love dogs. I don't know.
Especially like if the Newfoundland is to believe that picture, it's just like that big old dog coming in with his droopy face and his tongue wagging, and they're just like, it's the devil himself, dear God in heaven, it's pure evil, and it's just sitting there like,
what's up, man? But
like,
I was
you got some treats.
I'm so intrigued to know that dogs really do exist that are that big. Not for any strange reasons, not for any health-related issues, just that's how big they grow. And George was a Great Dane, of course.
Yeah.
But, like, dogs exist that are 7 feet long and 245 pounds that weighs more than me.
It's a big dog,
That's
yo.
insane.
It
The literal
weighs
size
more
of a
than me.
horse.
Yeah.
Literal size of a horse.
I mean, like, I don't think Black Shuck was a Newfoundland at all. I think it's described as a hellhound, a hunting hound. So I'm assuming that's what people saw, or
Maybe it's like a big beagle.
a big old beagle.
Yeah.
This is making me miss my dogs.
Oh, puppies.
I miss my dogs too.
We
But
should do a field trip where we all get to meet Jasmine's dogs.
then go look for melon heads.
Yeah. Go. Where these melonhead mofos live anyway.
Oh dear. I don't know about that.
Why? Are you scared of them? How many have you seen?
How many blue granadas have they been through?
The only reason Jasmine is afraid to go look for them is because she's seen them. She knows what they're capable of.
You know their secrets.
This is all fake.
Don't believe it.
Don't
She's
believe
just
the
trying
hype.
to dissuade you from the truth.
I don't know. Do you guys have any other fun facts
She
about
lives
the Black
down the
Shuck?
street from McDonald's.
I do.
Oh
both
my
in
God.
Ohio and California.
Whoa!
Even better.
It's a conspiracy.
Other fun facts about the Black Shuck. Sometimes he's not walking. He is just floating on a cloud of mist.
Whoa!
Did you know that?
I could just picture a big dumb Newfoundland like on
Yeah,
the cloud,
that's so cute.
like floating around and people screaming and it just looking around with its tongue open and it's just like droopy eyes.
So cute.
Oh man. Let's see. The first print mentioned earlier was Black Shuck by Reverend E.S. Taylor. He actually wrote it. It was called Shuck the Dog Fiend,
Okay.
which is a funny name. We talked about earlier how wacky England is.
Mhm.
Out here we got towns, counties, states,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like normal people.
Look.
So the way they do it is they have the nomenclature
The nomenclature?
territory.
The what?
Can I see it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nomenclature, my friend.
Nomenclature for territorial units of statistics, and that's how they like divide and figure things out.
Okay.
The abbreviation is nuts.
Of course it is.
So when in England, always ask for the nuts of the area you're staying, so you can properly make sure you are where the nuts tell you should be.
Oh my god.
Oh man, it was a EU form geocode standard for county subdivision reference,
Oh man.
but it's called nuts. And then you don't even want to know about South England because it's called butts. Nuts the butts.
Oh my.
There is an interactive mapping project known as Public. Actually, is that what it is? Yeah, it's Public Archaeology 2015. It's a very general name. But photographer and researcher Nick Stone, he's mapped 400 to 500 similar stories of seeing the Black Shuck. So there's lots of people who have seen ghost dogs. All of these stories add to the map. They talk of lonely pets pining for their dead masters and packs of hounds led in wild hunts by men on horseback, which we mentioned earlier. I'm literally just like throwing out the bullet points that I want to throw out there before this episode ends.
Yeah.
Like, there's no like deep conversation
Fire
under any
them
of these
off.
points. I just want to get this stuff out there because I I mean, I spent time on this subject just because I like dogs. I'm partial to
Because
dogs.
You've seen Black Shuck.
No, I haven't.
How many have you seen?
I haven't.
We should adopt a black shuck.
We should.
Hey, we should start a black shuck adoption agency.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Wouldn't that be great?
I swear, we're gonna be driving home tonight, and there's gonna be a giant black dog that crosses in front of the car and just stares at us, and our entire lives are gonna change.
It's gonna be a big dog. He's just gonna go woof, mofos, woof.
Oh, he's also been known to appear headless. So sometimes he has 2 eyes, sometimes he has 1, sometimes he has none because he's missing a head. That would scare me.
It's just a big
That would
gaping
scare
neck
me.
hole.
That would scare me to see a headless dog.
Especially
I'd
if
be done.
It'd be crazy if it barked and you could see the muscles like contract.
Ew! Yuck, yuck, yuck. No.
Oh, okay. I thought it was cool.
It's alright.
I mean,
I'm with it.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I dig it.
It's kind of
Yeah.
gross, though.
Oh, fun. I laughed when I read this because it says that the black shuck haunts the landscapes of East Anglia, primarily the coastline, graveyards, side roads, crossroads, bodies of water, and dark forests. So everywhere.
That's like all of English.
I
know. Also, I like to. I know it was an intention, but it was like talking about the black shunk. The what? Black shuck. It sounded like a cool intro.
I see.
Yeah.
Black skunk?
We'll make an album.
Yeah.
We'll make an album.
An album?
We'll make an album.
An alum.
Alumni?
Amex?
I don't know what's happening.
Check the Black Shucks yearbook.
What are
and
some
see
of your
what
other?
year it really is.
What other facts you have?
I think that might be it. I'm
Mhm.
scrolling through my notes right now.
Are you for
just
reals?
just a fun fact. Well, I keep saying the word fun fact. Fun facts with Jasmine.
Is it a fun fact or is it
The
just
Black
a
Shuck
fact?
has a lot of influence on pop culture in England, of course. So much so that the dog's image has been put up in buildings across the town. The
Wow.
animal is incorporated into the Bungie's coat of arms.
Bungies.
There's the Black Dog Running Club and a Black Dog Antique Shop. The nickname for the town's football club is the Black Dogs. And then, of course, British rock band The Darkness features a track inspired by the Devil Dog on their debut album, Permission to Land. The track is so appropriately named Black Shuck.
Oh yeah.
I didn't listen to it, though.
It's a cool song. They kind of go for that like old school metal, 80s metal sound.
Whoa! Look at this picture of Black Shuck.
Ooh, let's see.
Look at
Oh
that thing.
yeah.
That would be
Artist's
scary.
rendering.
Artist rendering of Black Shuck. I'll put this up.
So we talked about England, Black Shuck, churches being destroyed, people being eaten. Sometimes he helps people. They found a big old dog skeleton at one point. I think that's pretty good for the Black Shuck because
Yeah.
he's one of like many just black ghost dogs that are in
Mhm.
England.
Yeah, but he's like the most popular.
Yeah, he's like the most popular, most famous. So I mean, if we do another episode about like ghosts and stuff, we could talk about those other ghost dogs,
Yeah.
those ghost puppies.
Gosh, getting attacked by a dog would be the worst moment of my life. Not just because of ouch, but because of a dog. Like, I love dogs so much!
Whoa.
Dang it! Okay, sorry.
Alright.
I just had to get that out there. I love dogs.
That'll be the next cryptid fact on Instagram.
Jasmine
Cryptid fact
loves
number
dogs.
75. Jasmine loves dogs so much.
That she would adopt the Black Shuck.
Yeah.
If the Black Shuck is sitting at the adoption center for years on end
Getting
because
passed over.
he's an old dog and nobody wants the old dog. Everybody wants the puppies. Everybody wants the black puppies.
Nobody wants the
I'll
old
take the
one-eyed
Black Shuck.
dog.
I'll take the Black Shuck.
The one eye that's flaming.
He'll
Yeah.
protect me.
And he's an old dog.
He's just like, yo, yo.
All right.
You want to see a cool magic trick?
I think that's that. You guys didn't have anything else to add, did you?
No, I finished. a
No,
long
I
time
think
ago.
that's it. We talked about Black Shuck. I got my nuts joke in.
You did.
Successfully landed. Exits are to your left, everybody. Please exit stately but firmly out.
Stately? Is that a word?
I don't know.
Deposit your IMAX
Stately wouldn't
glasses in
matter.
the designated receptacle.
But yeah, thank you for listening, everybody. If you want to get at me on social media, I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Alex Daikaiju. That's Alex DAIKAIJU.
Whoa.
Oh,
Whoa.
oh.
All right.
Yeah. And if I wanted to get a hold of you on social medias,
You can follow me on both Twitter and Instagram. My name is the same for both. It's Jasmine May with JasmineMaewith. Yes, my last name is With.
Whoa.
oh, it's very with it.
Yep. I always said if I ever had like a clothing line, that's what it would be called. With it.
Hell
'Cause
yeah.
it's stylish, you know?
Ooh.
Although I would never have a clothing line. I'm not fashionable enough.
I'm
for
Hey,
with it.
make
I'm with
Cryptid clothing.
I'll pass.
Make black Shuck clothes.
Nope, I'm good.
Oh damn.
With your
okay.
face on it. If you can find me on the Twitterverse, it's at EJ Workshop. On Instagram, you can Google my name, Eli Watson. You can Google my name on Instagram. Alright.
Hey, now you've become the crazy old guy who doesn't know social media.
I am that guy. Alright.
Yeah, and also real quick, we do have an Instagram for Cryptid Campfire.
Yeah. It's
you
called at Cryptid Campfire.
Yeah, go ahead and follow us there. Eli mostly posts cryptid facts, good info, a little bit of memes every once in a while.
Mhm.
We're on Facebook as well. So thank you for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week. And one last Shuck thing.
Oh, God.
When everyone says, something mean to you, you can just say, "Ah, Shuck you." Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
I'll be here all week.